I feel like the easiest way to ruin a nice activewear fit is just a big underwear line. Full coverage underwear can give you these big panty lines, and even thongs sometimes can be really bulky and just like ruin a legging look. And if you're here, you're probably already a big activewear fan, and that's just something we're trying to avoid. And some people will say, oh, just go commando. But first of all, some people just don't really like going commando. Personally, I don't. It just feels very, you know, naked. Because sometimes if you have a legging with a front seam, going commando can just make the problem worse. So this might be one of the most important videos I've done in a while because I am just very picky about the underwear I wear under my leggings. I have high standards for it. I know there's going to be people in the comments saying like there's nothing wrong with camel toe or nothing wrong with underwear lines, but the fact is most people do try to avoid that in their leggings because it just draws a little extra unwanted attention. If you have no problem with it, more power to you. But personally, I do like to avoid camel toe in my leggings, and I like to avoid that VPL in general. So today we are testing the 5 best pairs of underwear that are supposed to either eliminate camel toe altogether, not show any panty lines, and just in general work really well under your activewear. I am only testing the best of the best today. We're not messing around with underwear that I know will already show panty lines. So these are all going to be seamless or even made to prevent camel toe or prevent these problems in general. I never thought I'd be making a video about underwear to wear under leggings or underwear in general. So if this is helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. My name's Kathryn. I do a lot of activewear reviews, and this video really has the potential to attract a lot of creeps. I will be watching the comment section like a hawk. So if you're a creepy guy making a creepy comment, you will get blocked from this channel so fast you won't even be able to finish the video, because this video is for my ladies who need a solution to wear under their leggings. Anyway, in order to properly test each of the pairs of underwear today, we are testing them under 2 different leggings. First of all, to test if these leggings help with camel toe or make it worse, we're going to be testing them under the OG Buff Bunny Rosa leggings because I loved these leggings, but they cost so much camel. They just go right up. So this will be the ultimate test for that. And then I also wanted to test each pair on if they roll up or if they're just visible under leggings in general. I also wanted this to be a no front seam situation because sometimes when you're wearing a no front seam, if the underwear like tends to like collect in like the folds, then it's very obvious in the no front seam. So we are testing a very light color, no front seam. These are the Buff Bunny Legacy shorts. They're also pretty thin, so I feel like they should really show any folding because those like raw cut edge seamless underwear can have a really bad rolling up problem and then become even more visible. So we're gonna test that under these. And if this turns out not to be thin enough, then we'll find an alternative pair of leggings. So we're gonna add in a pair of shorts that cause me camel like sometimes, but it's like not super bad. So we're doing the Camo Fitness Ellen shorts because something like these shorts, they're honestly just like too small for me. So it's like inevitable to get camel. So I feel like these shorts would be a better test if you can stop something with like a moderate amount to cause camel. So first, these underwear kind of actually inspired me to make this video. The brand is JIV Athletics, and it is the anti-camel toe seamless thong. They literally specially designed this thong to not show under leggings and to prevent camel toe. They actually have like a thickened section in like what would be the gusset area, so that if your leggings are like very invasive with a front seam, this prevents it from going in and having that camel problem. So this is the first pair of underwear that I've seen to do this. It also feels like slightly thickened in general. It is a laser cut thong, and sometimes these laser cuts can roll like I was talking about before, so we will see if it does that or not. They also have a high rise and a mid-rise version. I've honestly never tried high-rise thongs to the gym. In theory, it actually could be better since it goes higher up. It could just like hide right under your legging waistband and then not have the opportunity to show like another seam. So we're open to it. These have kind of been selling out. They sell them on their own website and also on Revolve, and they're $33 and $34. So they're definitely expensive for a single pair of underwear, but if they work, then I'm all for it, because if this can be the solution that will allow me to wear some of the leggings that I tend to avoid because they cause camel toe, now this won't be a problem. They also come in sand, which is this like light nude color, and black. And I think I heard that they were expanding to have a darker colored nude for people with darker skin tones, because that would be great to see them just expand a little bit because this is very light. So let's see if these hold up. A little concern I had for these ones is it seems like a very thin area down here. So is that going to be enough space, or are we single lipping it? You know what I mean? This video is getting very detailed, but it has to be done. All right, so first up we have the high-rise thong, and the base material of these is way thicker than any of the other ones we're trying today. So they're actually very roll proof. As you can see under these shorts, you literally like cannot see them anywhere, even like the bottom or the top line. They also don't have any seam at the side of the hip, so you're not going to see that either. They're very smooth, really don't roll, offer a little bit of compression. And when I was filming, I thought that these weren't camel toe friendly, but it's actually preventing it pretty well, especially on the purple shorts. That looked really good to me. The front coverage on these was actually better than I expected as well, because the padded part actually goes below, not in the front. So these are my final scores. The only reason I'm giving them a 3.5 out of 5 for comfort is because they are just a little bit on the stiff side, but I still found them definitely wearable. Now the mid-rise, a benefit of this one is if your leggings aren't super high-waisted, there's no risk of like your underwear showing if your leggings fall down a little bit, but there is a possibility of seeing that upper border under the waistband. As you can see in the clip, you really can't see it, basically invisible under shorts or leggings. And again, with the camel test, this actually helped a lot. So I think it is safe to say that these underwear really do hide camel toe. And honestly, just having that peace of mind that you're not gonna get camel toe at the gym is really awesome. So final ratings, these score a little lower on visibility just because they are a mid-rise and they don't hide under the waistband. But yeah, while these are an investment, I actually think that they're really great underwear and I'll be buying more. The next brand of underwear that we're trying is Ebbie, and I've actually talked about this brand on my channel 2 years ago because I've been wearing these underwear for a long time, but this time I am trying one of their high-rise thongs as well as one of their regular thongs. So like I've already mentioned a couple times, with underwear with a raw cut edge, it's very easy to like slip around and like roll. So what's intriguing about the Ebbie ones is that they actually have this like non-slip, like thickened edge along the entire outline of like all of the seams to help the leggings from from slipping around and 2 from rolling and then becoming more visible. So here's a little look at the non-slip. This is the high-rise thong, and they also have details of like ribbing down the side, also made of the non-slip material. So it's really supposed to like grip and like stay on you. So the JIV underwear, those were the only ones that actually had like a thickened section in like the crotch area. The Ebbie ones don't have like a thickened insert, but they are a little more structured in this area than some of the underwear that we're gonna try next. So I feel like this will moderately help with the camel toe. So yeah, these are definitely thick and structured. This is the high rise, but it is pretty thin in the back, and that's a big thing that contributes to like comfort of underwear for me. If it's too thick in like the thong part, it just is painful. And they also just have a regular rise thongs. This is probably like low to mid rise, very similar to the high rise, just doesn't go up as high. And these are the style that I've been wearing for years now, so I'm excited to try both of them to see which one is a little less visible under your leggings. The Ebbie underwear also has a really good size range. It's extra small to 4XL, so very inclusive there. And they actually did reach out to me recently and gave me a 20% off discount code. So if these turn out to work really well, they have 20% off. Their underwear is cheaper than the JIV camel toe proof thong, but it's not the cheapest today. It's around $13 to $14 a pair. They also do like a subscription service, but I think you can get an individual pair individually as well. So these are the Ebbie high-rise thongs. They do have that non-slip lining that definitely helps with rolling down, but I did work out in these and I got some rolling, as you can see a little bit on the sides. They're pretty good under leggings. I did have to do just like a couple adjustments for like the very edge of them to make sure it was sitting flat on my skin. They also do have a seam at the side of the hip, so there is some possibility for that to show under leggings as well. And these weren't advertised to get rid of any camel, but they did help a little bit, especially on the purple shorts, so you'd be safe with like a pair of like moderate camel toe shorts. So overall, I found these a little more breathable, a little more comfortable than the JIV. They're also just very smooth in general, and they're about half the price of the JIV. They don't have the same level of camel toe prevention, but they're still very comfortable and pretty much invisible under leggings. Now we have the mid-rise ones. Both the mid and the high-rise both have a good amount of front coverage as well, so I wasn't feeling like I would, lose a lip or anything. The thickened edge also helps it keep in place in the front. Because these are mid-rise and they don't end under your waistband, there is a little possibility to see a slight roll at the top of them, kind of like mid-lower tummy area. With some adjusting, that goes away. And it felt like the mid-rise rolled down a little less because they just sit on your hips and they don't go too high up. So overall, pretty comparable to the high-rise in terms of rating, maybe just a tiny bit more visible, but a little more roll-proof. I also feel like the high rise give one less opportunity to show because usually the higher rise part sits within the waistband of the leggings, which is often a double thickness as opposed to a single thickness. Next, we have the most affordable option today. These are both from the brand Auden from Target. You can get these for $25, so they're about $5 a pair, or they are $5 a pair. And if you follow me on Instagram and watch my stories, I do talk about these a lot because they're kind of my current go-to gym under leggings underwear. Specifically the bonded edge one, but let's talk about the like classic like laser cut one first. So these are what I was talking about when I mentioned like the kind of like thinner laser cut thong that just can kind of like roll a little bit. They're just like a little flimsy in like the crotch area, so they can kind of like create that little like, I don't know, like camel toe bleb that you see in like a no front seam legging. So I don't wear these with no front seam leggings. And because they have such a thin raw cut edge and just not enough structure, they do definitely roll pretty easily. So these are the laser cut edge ones. I prefer the bonded edge. So these look very similar to the Ebbie ones, but the actual edge of the laser cut thong is just folded over. So this just provides a lot more structure. Even though it's the same material as the laser cut edge one, it's just a little more structured in like the crotch region. It just like stays a little better on me. And because it's a bonded edge, it just doesn't roll up the sides. I do usually find that these are slightly visible, so I don't know if these will be like the winners today, but they're a really good affordable option. So here are just the classic laser cut thongs. These ones, there's literally nothing preventing it from rolling, and they roll honestly like crazy. You can't even smooth it out. Like as soon as you move, it rolls again. And the material just kind of like gets a little flimsy over time. It was never super sturdy. They're definitely comfortable, but with a little too much movement, they can kind of move in the front area. That kind of goes along with front coverage, definitely not the most front coverage. They also have that seam at the side, which is just a little thick. It's definitely thicker than the Ebbie ones. And they're really not thick at all in the bottom crotch area, so there's really no camel toe prevention. So these are the bonded edge ones, and while the material is the same, they just have a little more structure and sturdiness compared to the laser cut thong. And these are probably the most roll proof alongside the JIV ones. They really do not roll once they're in place. Since they do have a slightly thickened edge, there is a little bit of possibility of it cutting into you if it's a little too small. The side seam on these is still possible to see, but it's less noticeable than the laser cut ones. A little more camel toe prevention as well. They're totally fine with the purple shorts, but definitely not going to get rid of all camel toe. And the bonded edge also just kind of helps it keep in place in the front area too. So these are like kind of slightly visible, but they're not going to roll, so there's that. And lastly, I've heard a lot of hype about these. These are the Alphalete seamless thongs. So ideally you'd think an activewear brand that like focuses on leggings would make a pretty good pair of underwear to wear under the leggings. So these are the seamless thongs. They come in extra small to 2XL, so also a pretty inclusive range. $14, so about the same price as the Ebbie ones. I don't know if they like tend to sell out. I think they have stock on the website right now. But these are also a laser cut edge, and they're thin, but they also feel like a little like stretchier and just like a little more structured than the regular like laser cut edge. So I have worn these a decent amount. I do think that these are pretty good, but they definitely have the potential to roll up because they are just a very thin laser cut edge, and these are definitely like the thinnest ones today. So while they are stretchy and have a little bit of shape, they're like super thin. So we'll see how these work. The first thing I wanted to mention about these is the seam on the side of the hip is more of a flat lock seam, and it's a lot less bulky than the Auden laser cut thong. So while it still has the chance to show under leggings, it's much less visible. These ones also were just like a little more like snug and form-fitting, so they also just like didn't roll as much even when I tried to get them to roll. I felt like they ran just like the teeniest bit tight. I definitely was like a little bit snug on the edges, but it also helps it stay in place. They're pretty thin in the bottom part though, so they really don't help with the camel problems. But yeah, overall these were really lightweight, really silky smooth, and a really nice amount of stretch. So if you still just like that classic laser cut edge, I feel like these ones were better than the Auden ones. So for the Alphalete thongs, they are super lightweight, but after kind of wearing them, I felt like the waistband side part kind of went from like this to like this, like it like scrunched up a little bit. That does dock it a few points in terms of the roll proof because there's just nothing really stopping it from doing that and from rolling. it's just like a little slippery. Okay, listen, I have one final hope, seeing if anything can make a super ultra pair of camel toe shorts leggings work. So a while ago, I bought one of these silicone camel toe preventers. This is what it looks like. It's made of silicone, so you can like wash it and everything, and it like maintains its stickiness. Outside is not sticky, inside is sticky, and you can either stick this to your skin or to your underwear, and it creates like a little layer to prevent the camel toe. So if this can't solve the issue with these shorts, then we know that no pair of underwear ever could do that. So let's try it. All right, so I feel like it reduces it. It's still, nothing is gonna stop this seam. So I actually do like this little silicone thing sometimes, except honestly don't love wearing it to the gym because I feel like over time, if you sweat, it kind of like comes off. So I don't know if I totally recommend this, especially for gym use, but just wanted to try that out. So that's the video, guys. I hope it was helpful. I feel like we had a lot of really good options today. That was my goal of the video. It wasn't to just have like one pair of underwear that I'm like, okay, these are the only ones. Definitely some pros and cons to each of them, but I hope this was helpful. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and comment down below what else you need me to test, because you know, I'm your girl to test all the things that no one else will on the internet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!